It's time for the wrestling show to take a cynical look back at NXT's premium live event, the Great American Bash. So let's get this ball rolling.
And a one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3. Lip really loves wrestling. He likes to talk about it too. If you like to watch wrestling like he do, come and join us on the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. Oh, baby.
Welbo, welcome to the wrestling show. I'm your most fickle host, Lip Hazlewood, and this is a very cynical look back at the latest episode of Representing the WWE, and live, not from Orlando, Florida this time, live from the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. It's the NXT. And this air date is July the 30th, 2023. This episode is the Great American Bash, the big premium live event. But before we get started with the big show, just a quick shout out to the non-competitors. That's right. They are the foundation on which the building sits upon. Anyways, now, first of all, he's really not there much. But he is the authority figure. He is the man. He represents the man. He takes belts away. He makes opportunities and whatnot. He is Shawn Michaels. And you got to use his theme music every time you introduce him. Anyways, getting all the backstage scoops and all the pre-match interviews, we got ourselves our very own Mackenzie Mitchell. And heading into the ring, as the announcer, letting everybody know who's about to fight, and the outcomes of such matches, it's Alicia Taylor. And last, but certainly not least, it's the commentary crew, the play-by-play guys, the hosts, and I even call them the narrators of the whole damn show. They're the team of the two-time Hall of Famer, the man with the checks and championships on his mind, shucky ducky quack quack. It's Booker T. And backing him up, usually he's usually the voice of reason. He's hit and miss there, but he's always a tippity-top commentator in his own rights. It's Vic Joseph. And now, without any further ado-s, let's get started with the show. And we start off with now this show here. The Great American Bash has four championship matches on the card tonight. And to kick off the show, it is a big one, the tag team championship match. And it's they've been pushing this one here for a bit. The storyline was incredibly ridiculous. It involves the D'Angelo family, Tony D'Angelo, being incarcerated for a little bit thanks to the Gallus. But now it's their chance. They pull the kibosh apparently. Now they got their championship match. A roundabout way, they got their. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so it's Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. See? Channing Stacks Lorenzo versus the Gallus Boys, Marcus Coffey and Wolfgang. And by their side is the Yabbermouth himself, the big guy with the who talks a lot. Anyways, I'm not a big fan, as you can tell. It's Joe Coffey alongside watching match, not just watching match. Like a participant, a willing participant of the match. You know, shame on him and a referee for not looking at all. Anyways, this match, however, was about almost 9 minutes and like 9 minutes around, under 9 minutes, of course. So it was a lot of fun. This match was good, clean tags, although the rules were bent. You know, sometimes a little bit broken, but the tag ropes were used, and that is encouraging. Because NXT always sets the standard for how tag matches should be done. You know, with the shenanigans involved as well. So anyways, what happens in the match? What happens to this? Of course, the referee, every time the referee turns around. Now, it's the Joe Coffey effect. Now, I believe it was, Vic Joseph said that Wolfgang was a wild card of the match. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Wolfgang is in the match. The wild card is the unknown factor. And it's Joe Coffey. And he's made his presence there, with Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Grabs Channing's leg so he could, just stall him for a little bit. Referee, of course, the back is turned. It just happened not once, more than once. The other time it happened where Channing Stacks Lorenzo, he was like thrown onto the ropes there. And then Wolfgang's tagged into the match here, right? And something could have happened with Wolfgang, a double team, I don't know. But anyways, Wolfgang gets the ring there, and Joe Coffey again, he clobbers, clocks, Stacks Lorenzo on the side of the head, but the match carries on. Match carries on. Now we got ourselves a little bit of, Tony D'Angelo. Now Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, they got it color coordinated now. They're both color coordinated. They're both now Channing Stacks Lorenzo and Tony D'Angelo, they have the orange, the prison orange, and blacks, while the Gallus boys were basically green and black, yellow thrown in there for fun. Actually, it's a yellow and black, green thrown in there for fun, really, something like that. But anyways, it's all about Joe Coffey. He's wearing his shirt is yellow and black. He just looked like a bumblebee out there. He's like stocky and round. He looked like a bumblebee, and he was stinging like a bumblebee, interfering in a match a couple of times there. Anyways, they had a time to match where Tony D'Angelo was in the ring there with Marcus Coffey going for the pin, and then it's Wolfgang trying to break the pin by a massive senton, but accidentally squashing Marcus in the ring. How embarrassing! How embarrassing! Anyways, the match carries on, and here we had a point where I thought, "Oh my goodness, this could be a great finisher here." It's Marcus Coffey in the ring there with Tony D'Angelo. Now this is where the one, I believe this is the one, the tag that really wasn't a tag, unofficial tag, that was, the bad tag. Anyways, regardless, Tony D'Angelo in the ring with Marcus Coffey. Channing Stacks Lorenzo slaps Tony into the back. So Tony finishes off, he goes on the top rope. It's a superplex on Marcus. And then, Channing Stacks Lorenzo on the other side of the ring there with a massive diving, I believe a diving headbutt. A diving headbutt a la Chad Gabler. Remember, Chad Gabler rhymes with tabla. So I don't know. They both do a fantastic one. I would say about even Steven with the great height and the style points. Style points is a huge. Now speaking of style points, the match goes on, and we got ourselves both of the D'Angelo family outside there, and it's Marcus Coffey and Wolfgang. They do a thing. Wolfgang, Marcus runs the ropes. He jumps. Wolfgang picks him up and throws him. It's a human projectile. Marcus, the human projectile. Wow, right over the top rope, squashing both of the D'Angelo family. It's pretty big, pretty impressive move. But the match carries on. Now here we get to something weird. Joe Coffey decides to interfere again. He doesn't think his team's doing good enough, and Joe Coffey brings out his favorite thing, his tiny bat. He's got this tiny bat. He brings in the ring there. Oh, I got the tiny bat. He manages to pass it to Wolfgang. Wolfgang's going to bash some Stacks Lorenzo with his tiny bat. But the referee sees that. No, you don't. And he turns around to, give the bat back to Joe Coffey. He's like, here's your tiny bat, you son of a gun. While this happens, Marcus and Wolfgang team up on, Channing Stacks Lorenzo. They get him into the massive double team move where, Marcus Coffey goes with a flying knee. And then Wolfgang finishes off with a flapjack. Right in the face. Just slaps him down. But however, Tony D'Angelo is there to break up the pin. Now, they fight outside for a bit. Tony D'Angelo gets, Marcus Coffey into a powerbomb, throws him into Wolfgang. They both go colliding into the steel steps. Whammo! It was a big move. It was a big move. Now, after that, it was, Tony D'Angelo. He gets his, he's got a crowbar. He picks that out of the ring, out of the steps there. He goes into the ring there. And lo and behold, it's Joe Coffey running into the ring. He's trying to do some damage onto Channing Stacks Lorenzo. But he gets whacked in his head with a crowbar. Thank goodness it's one of those wonderful, props. A wonderful prop to the face. But it's a prop anyways, to the face. So that's it for Joe Coffey. And then, of course, Channing Stacks Lorenzo doing his best to upstage what Marcus Coffey did. So him and, Tony D'Angelo, they get together. Channing hits the ropes. He runs, he jumps. Tony D'Angelo hip toss, throws him right over the top rope, squashing down both of the, Dallas boys outside the ring. Squishy squash, so they'd say. Then they throw in Marcus Coffey back in the ring. They do their bada bing. It's a bada bing, their finisher, which is basically a double team, electric chair drop. I don't know why two people doing the electric chair drop is more effective than one person. I don't know. It's gravity just falling. It makes no sense. Maybe one person does electric chair drop, the other person meets him with a some sort of cutter, like sliced bread, like the one and done, like the spilt milk, something like that. Maybe that's just done too many times. Okay, regardless, after that big move, it's 1, 2, 3, the pin, and we got ourselves new champions. That's right, the D'Angelo family are new champions. Now, I figured this was going to happen. The Gallus boys are good wrestlers. They're fine champions. But however, they are the paper champions. They were paper champions when they got the belts because they were like this. This is the role they played even back in the NXT UK days. Yeah. Where they dropped it to the greatest tag team right now. The Pretty Deadly. The Two Tasty Snacks. Anyways, right now, new NXT Tag Team Champions belong to Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, the D'Angelo family. Now moving up next. Our next big match, it is a Weapons Wild match. Weapons Wild. And this was wild. It was about close to 12 minutes. This was Roxanne Perez and Blair Davenport. Apparently they got a backstory too. Blair's been attacking women backstage and outside in the parking lot, injuring them. And Roxanne Perez is getting revenge, and this is the match. And basically the pushing is this, Blair Davenport, she sees Roxanne Perez being short in stature, meaning weak. I mean, you're just a girl because you're so short. I'm a woman. This is a woman's league. Damn it! So this one here is finally come down to a Weapons Wild match. Weapons Wild. Now, they don't need weapons in this match to make it great. They don't need weapons. Because Roxanne Perez, she's an architect when it comes to wrestling. She's great. She's just small in stature. But she is an amazing wrestler. She knows how to put a match together. Blair Davenport, she's an amazing performer. She's got the size and she's got the skills, baby, to pay the bills. So this match would have been great no matter what match they had. So, however, it gets weird because, Roxanne Perez, she goes down to the ring there, she's greeting her fans and she's her parents actually, her mom and her sisters at the ringside. So she greets them and she's going down to greet her fans. But however, we got a sneaky sneak. It's Blair Davenport. She comes to the ringside there through the crowd and she sneak attacks Roxanne Perez. Whammo! Before the match, and then the match starts. It starts getting hot. We had a moment where, the beginning part of the match where, of course, Roxanne Perez was knocked down and beaten down in front of her mom and sister, I should say. Her dad wasn't there. Mom and sister. Just absolutely humiliated in front of them. And then later on, they fought outside again, where Roxanne Perez, got revenge. She ended up knocking down some Blair Davenport, climbing the ring apron. Not ring apron, but the divider there of the crowd. And she does a high cross body right on Blair Davenport. It was pretty nice. But however, the match goes on. The fight goes outside again of the ring. Blair Davenport's bashing down hard on Roxanne Perez with chairs. And while she's doing that, she's throwing chairs into the ring. Bunch of chairs she's throwing into the ring. So they're setting up for something. She's setting up for something, definitely, for sure. Now, inside the ring was a bunch of garbage cans and chairs and kendo sticks, and she brought actually a cattle prod. Actually, not really. Yeah, it's a cattle prod. It's more of like, what's that? An iron, where it burns, a cattle iron, where it burns like a thing onto the cattle's ass, so it says it's, So she has one of those in the ring. She brings in Roxanne Perez in the ring. She puts a garbage can over Roxanne's head like a shield so she doesn't get hit with the stupid cattle prod. Or the, the iron, cattle iron. So anyways, that was just a bunch of hooky in there. The hooey. That was just the main part of the match. But anyways, the match does carry on. And, we'll take it outside the ring again. Roxanne Perez is trying to learn a lesson in front of her sister and her mom again by Blair Davenport. But she takes chairs and says, well, anyways, it is this. Roxanne Perez ends up turning things around in a match with the nice cowbell wacko right in the back of Blair Davenport's back. She turns things around, and eventually they get in the ring there, and with a massive pop rocks, he finally gets pop rocks onto, Blair Davenport, and it's over. Oh, it's over! She gets a lot happened in the match, but eventually it happened with she gets a bunch of chairs all lined up and a pop rocked right on top of that. Blair Davenport with a massive loss. Roxanne Perez wins big time. So next up, we got our next match. It is Baron Corbin versus Gable Stevens. And my goodness, I thought, Gable was going to win this match. This was approximately 6.5 minutes. Gable, apparently he's got a really bad reputation. Apparently outside of wrestling, he's got a really poor reputation, and a lot of people know it. So, in this match, of course, Baron Corbin is supposed to be the heel, and Baron Corbin with his new gimmick, the sinking ship, or the burning ship, because nobody knows, after a ship burns for a little bit, it sinks. It burns and then it sinks. I guess that's Baron Corbin's career. The sinking ship, burning and then sinking. Like a Viking's funeral. So anyways, the match was a lot of give and take, back and forth. The fans were cheering for Baron Corbin. Because apparently, no one really likes Gable Stevenson. It's weird. So this could be it for Gable. This could be his last push. Not much of a push, anyways. So yeah, it was back and forth. They took the fight outside the ring, inside the ring. Baron Corbin used Gable Stevens' head as a battering ram and smashing against the steel, the post. They take the fight outside for one last time. Gable Stevens used then Baron Corbin as a human projectile, throws him over top of the commentating table. They started scrobbling outside there. The referee's counting away, and then he hits 10, and that's the match. It's over. 10 count. It was not many people liked that. Not many people liked it at all. The fans cried bullshit. They were very disappointed. No winners here, only losers. Yeah, Baron Corbin and. Baron Corbin usually has good matches, but this match no one could have saved. This match was bad, and it ended bad. Gable Stevens, he's got a long way to go. Maybe Gable should have been teamed up with Damon Kemp. They should have been a team. They should have been a team. Anyways, after the match, they start, it's not over. They start scuffling. They start fighting. After the match, all said and done, I guess their grudge is not done. Don't think anybody really cares much about if it is or not, because the people just do not care for Gable Stevens. Anyways, yeah. So ends with Baron Corbin trying to spear Gable. Gable giving a suplex, and he goes right through the timekeeper's area. As usual, that's the go-to place to go through, is a timekeeper's area, and that's what happened. So yeah, Gable looking good, Baron looking hurt, looking white. Moving on, we go backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell talking to Lyra Valkyria, talking about a little bit of the her aspirations, her new vigor for wrestling now. Ever since fighting Rhea Ripley, she's got this passion, burning desire to fight. And of course, and it comes down to JC Jane. Why? She just attacks, baby. JC Jane comes in and they start fighting backstage. JC Jane and Lyra Valkyria. Rhea Ripley's all proud. So, yep, I expected these. Oh, I expected these. Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio by her side. And speaking of such, our next match is a triple threat match. It is Wesley, Mustafa Ali versus Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio. Your North American champion in this triple threat match. And with Dominic Mysterio, his fellow Judgment Day member, Rhea Ripley, Mommy herself. That's right. Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So this one here was interesting, to say the least, this match. It wasn't a match of the night, no, because it was, it was I guess, a showcase of wrestling skills. It was a very high match. It was a lot of fun, Now, however, in this match was interesting because during the match, really early in the match, Rhea Ripley decides to grab the belt and grab Dominic Mysterio and leave. Now, here's a problem with that. This is not a regular match. If this were a regular match, one-on-one match, if Dominic Mysterio would have leave, he would have got counted out, he would have got disqualified, the match, and he would have retained due to disqualification. Fine. Easy. But here, if Dominic Mysterio would have left, it would have meant nothing. This is a triple threat match. No disqualification, no countouts. So therefore, Dominic Mysterio, he can grab his belt and go home and do whatever the hell he wants to do. Doesn't matter because the match will go on as a one-on-one match. And whoever wins that will win the belt, regardless if it's there or not. So ridiculous. So this match is like, well, okay. And I'm not sure why. Mustafa Ali and Wesley, they had to stop. Dominic Mysterio from leaving the match. Really? Just let him go. It would have been easier that way. Easier. He would have been instantly out of the match. And then, you know what? You don't have to worry about him because he couldn't win the belt anymore. Anyways. Now, of course, the match goes on. They catch Dominic Mysterio from running away again. They've given him a beat, so the match continues. And this was a lot of fun. And we had a couple of moves where it's like one where Mustafa Ali's going for a Boston Crab on Wesley, flips him on top of Dominic Mysterio. He does a camel clutch on Dominic Mysterio and a Boston Crab. It was quite nifty, as they'd say. So yeah, now in a match here, we got ourselves a little bit of Wesley trying to take out Dominic Mysterio from the outside of the ring there, and it's Rhea Ripley tried to interfere with the match, trying to get in the face of Wesley, saying, "No, you don't. No, try that in front of me. Not gonna do it." But he does. He ends up going over the top rope, flying over top of, Rhea Ripley. Even though she ducked completely. I don't think she really had to duck. I think he could have cleared her. But anyways, he hits Dominic Mysterio, throws Dominic Mysterio back in the ring there. However, it was not over. Because when Wesley tried to get in the ring there, nope. Rhea Ripley wouldn't have any of it. So this was the beginning of the end of Wesley. She picks him up and then with the riptide throws him through the commentating table and then throws him into the ring. To the wolves! It's over for Wesley, pretty much. So who's going to win the belt? Dominic Mysterio, he goes for the pin, but Wesley had enough to kick out of that move. Now, here's another one here that's really weird. It's a no disqualification, so really, I'm not sure what's going on here. Rhea Ripley grabs the North American Championship belt, slides it way too far into the ring, slides it to the referee. Referee picks it up to give it back. Oh my goodness, gotta do that. And meanwhile, while the referee's back's turned, Rhea Ripley gives Dominic Mysterio her belt, so then Dominic Mysterio can bash Wesley in the head behind the ref's back. Really? He doesn't care if you cheat. It's no disqualification. Well, he's going to go, well, you did it cleanly. So it's ridiculous that the referee had to be. Anyways, does that do it? No, it didn't. Wesley kicks out again. Dominic Mysterio, who decides to finish it off via frog splash, goes to the top rope, but however, it is Mustafa Ali gets back in the match there, drop kicks the hell out of, Dominic off the top rope. Dominic, however, he doesn't fall off the top rope, he's hooked onto the top rope with his foot, he just dangles, he's just a dangling there. Now, after that move, it's, Mustafa Ali, he gets to the top rope in a big 450 slash. He tries to finish it and win the belt, but however, while he's pinning it, it's Rhea Ripley grabs a hold of his leg and pulls him outside the ring. Outside the ring. I can't believe they didn't bring Tyler Bate there to even the score, maybe to watch her back, but no. Rhea Ripley pulls out Mustafa Ali, beats him up a little bit outside the ring. Dominic Mysterio then climbs back on top of the rope and finishes off with a massive 5-star frog splash on Wesley. 1, 2, 3. It is over. Dominic Mysterio, still your North American champion. Yep. He's probably the hardest working champion right now. He's doing a lot of work. He's been a champion for a couple of weeks, but he's been pulling that belt up for grabs for a lot of times. This is the third defense he had. Anyways. Moving backstage after that match, it is a little bit of Mackenzie Mitchell with Trick Williams talking about, Ilya Dragunov and how this is time that Carmelo Hayes will take Dragunov to school, so to speak. So yeah, he's looking forward to a big victory. So does it happen? Who knows? But as of now, we go to our next match. It is the women's championship match. Now this one here is a submissions match. Apparently, submissions, what this also means is that there is no rope breaks, no disqualification, which makes no sense. No sense at all. So you can't break it with it's ridiculous. I think they just got that confused. I think there should have been rope breaks because it's just a regular match. The only way you can win is with a submission hold. You can't win it with a pin. You can't win it with a disqualification to count out. Submission only. So yeah, they made a weird thing there. It made no sense. But anyways, this match was good. Was fun. Now what happened here? Now it's a lot of back and forth. Tiffany Stratton I think she's not very promising. She's got a lot of potential. She hasn't hit her potential yet. Thea Hale, she's the most charismatic woman in all of wrestling, perhaps most charismatic wrestler in all of wrestling, most charismatic person in all of wrestling. This match was about 11, almost 12 minutes. Honestly, this was a barn burner. This was a lot of fun. This was almost a knuckle buster. But here's the thing. There was a lot of back and forth. Tiffany Stratton breaking out some nice, submission holds. The surfboard. Now here we got a moment here where Tiffany Stratton's outside the ring. I'm not sure what happens here, but Thea Hale goes for some sort of tope suicida. It's somewhat, I guess, she's caught by Tiffany Stratton, and then she's dropped by Tiffany Stratton. So it's really weird. I'm not sure who took that move, who was damaged by that move, but Tiffany Stratton got really mad. She started, bashing Thea Hale over the ring post. So she started bending her in half by the ring post. Mm-hmm. Now, we had one moment where I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is very dangerous. This could have been a career ender. Because this Thea Hale, she's back body dropping. It's a standing back body drop on Tiffany Stratton. And if Tiffany Stratton didn't know how to take a bump, if she didn't tuck that chin, she would have been pile drive right on top of her head. Career over. But it was just a nasty bump, like high on her shoulders. She tucked that chin, so she escaped a narrow one there. So the match carries on. Tiffany Stratton and taken outside the ring. Now, in the corner of Chase U, Thea Hale, of course, it is the two people, is Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. But they didn't do anything to help out. They just watched and cheered on Thea Hale. Now, Tiffany Stratton was taken outside the ring again. And once again, Thea Hale goes for a tope suicida. This time it's successful, smashing down Tiffany Stratton. Then she goes for a massive high cross body press. Tiffany Stratton catches her. She rolls through, but doesn't, then it goes on. She slams down, Thea Hale. But anyways, match goes on, and they fight on the top rope. On the top rope. And it was kind of sloppy, but they fight on the top rope where Thea Hale with a, I guess you can say, exploder suplex. Some sort of, type of German style suplex. More of exploder, I suppose. More like it's like a Northern Lights style. Northern Lights style suplex. Off the top rope. Pretty nice, pretty good flashy move. A flashy move. Now here we go. Tiffany Stratton is then put into the Kimura lock. Oh, but really hard. Now Tiffany Stratton crawls to the ropes there, but somehow they're saying, there's no rope breaks in a submissions only match. Now, if there's no disqualification match, like I already bitched about that. So Tiffany Stratton grabs the ropes, and of course the ref's like, no rope grab, that doesn't count, not gonna happen. And then Thea Hale releases a hold. Oh, you're holding ropes, I should release the hold. Because she doesn't know what's going on. Not many people do. Apparently, not many people do. So here we go. After that, Tiffany Stratton crawls outside the ring. Thea Hale gets outside the ring there. However, it's Tiffany Stratton takes advantage, ends up throwing Thea Hale into the steel steps pretty hard. Throwing Thea Hale back in the ring there, and then just finishing her off, getting her set up, and then finishing her off with a massive the PME, the prettiest moonsault ever. Mm-hmm. And after that, she can't get a pin. She wears her down with the. It's a Boston Crab. She gets a Boston Crab on her. And it's Tiffany Stratton. She's out. Her energy's all flobbered. She's done. And she can barely hold that Boston Crab in place. Mm-hmm. And basically it's this. Thea Hale, she ends up going to the ropes there. But it doesn't matter because she's been pulled away from the ropes. So whether or not there's rope breaks or not, it was just a dumb thing. They didn't need the no rope breaks because it was nonsense. Because Thea Hale was constantly pulled back in the ropes there, pulled back into the ring from the ropes. So it doesn't matter if she got to the ropes and held on to it because that didn't really matter. It's okay, it doesn't matter. That whole thing that they made up was ridiculous. It kind of ruined the match a bit. But anyways, Thea Hale just being creamed by this Boston Crab. Tiffany Stratton, breaks a hold every now and then to try and re-hold it. And then she tries to get, I think she tried to put on the Walls of Jericho. Not the Walls of Jericho, but the Lion Tamer. The Lion Tamer, which is the alternate version, different variation of the Boston Crab with the knee on the back of the head. She couldn't get it. So it's the half crab Lion Tamer. Half crab Lion Tamer, I'd say. Sure, I'd say that works. So she did get that on there. She wouldn't tap. However, it's Andre Chase. He throws in the towel, not a white towel. He throws in a towel, red towel. So referee's like, this is a towel, it's a color. So yeah, that's it for Thea Hale. Her dreams are over because Andre Chase did not have the faith that she can break out of that hold. So regardless, Tiffany Stratton, she did not tap out. She got Thea Hale to tap out in this big old match. Now here we go. Now up next we go backstage with Dragon Lee talking a little bit to Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, saying how much he respects Rey Mysterio. And Dominic Mysterio said, yeah, whatever. I put the Mysterio name on the map. And you know what? It's funny. It's for someone who believes the same thing. It's Booker T. He also believes, out of everything him and Rey Mysterio has gone through in the past, all the stuff they've been going through together, he believes also Dominic Mysterio. Without him, what is the Mysterio? So yeah. So what is Mysterio name without Dominic Mysterio? Anyways, so I can see this happening soon. It's going to be a match between Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee. It's true. But when it's going to happen, who knows? Next up, we got our main event match. It is Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes in a championship match. This was the match of the night. This was a great match. This was a barn burner of a. This was a barn burner of a match. You know, I gotta say. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but. All right, there we go. I'm not going to cut that out. Just keep this going because we're at the main event now. Okay. Let's get back to track. It's Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes in the main event. This match was almost 25 minutes in length. This was a huge barn burner, slobber knocker. This was match of the night. This had hard hitting. This was great. A lot of back and forth. This was incredible. Both people this was very nicely paced. Ilya Dragunov, he always brings the intensity when he fights. Carmelo Hayes, he's a top-notch, top-tier competitor. These two brought the fire, brought the thunder. And this was incredibly good. Now, we had to move where we had to, Carmelo Hayes, he's got a tilt-a-whirl move. Like a tilt-a-whirl is supposed to be like a hurricanrana type thing. He tilt-a-whirls, and he ends up landing on top of Ilya Dragunov, driving his face into the mat. Whether it was an accident or not, it was pretty devastating. Anyways, we got some pretty cool stuff. I mean, Carmelo Hayes pulled out every massive springboard move off this repertoire. You know, from a massive clothesline to a massive DDT springboard. Just incredible stuff. Dragunov, he has some incredible high flying moves too. He goes to the top rope. He goes for a massive senton. Hits the senton, does not get to him. Now this move goes on. Now Dragunov, he goes for this massive move. He's going to top rope, right? And he's jumping off there, but he gets caught. Gets caught by the the first 48. The first 48, which is basically was a code breaker or a recoil, but this was huge. And after that, he tried to go for the nothing but net. And he never misses. Carmelo never misses. But this time he does. He goes for nothing but net, but he gets caught with a power bomb. Ilya Dragunov just power bombs the hell out of, Carmelo Hayes. But it's not over. Carmelo Hayes gets a throttling now. Ilya Dragunov, he jumps on you, missionary style, with an elbow to the face. He lies on top of you, missionary style. He follows in with a missionary with the elbow. So he likes you a little unconscious before he lays on you. It's true. It happens. There's a picture. I got pictures. Anyways, they fight on top. You know, Carmelo Hayes is put on top rope. Ilya Dragunov wants to throw him off the top rope with a suplex of some kind. So they're on top rope there. And it's Carmelo Hayes turns things around with a massive cutter off the top rope. Very, very impressive. And things are looking pretty bleak for everybody. But it's Trick Williams. He's getting to the ear of Carmelo Hayes. Like, he gets a belt there and saying, "Oh, Carmelo Hayes, you gotta show up. It's the fourth quarter, baby." You know, they fight a little bit more. Carmelo Hayes goes outside the ring there. They both fight outside, you know. What's that? Ilya Dragunov rolls up the ring. Carmelo Hayes rolls up the other side of the ring, and Trick Williams meets Carmelo Hayes outside the ring with the belt there, and you say, give him motivation. It's like, hey, remember this? This is your belt. You know? And this is the part where he knocks his head off the belt, and he's pointing at his head. We don't hear what he says, but I don't know. So anyways, Carmelo Hayes is like getting in thing, you know. He's like, oh, that's right, I'm the champ still. And Trick Williams is holding the belt up high, and then next you know what it is, that's right, Ilya Dragunov. I guess he's running in for some sort of torpedo Moscow. He's trying to, this is the thing with that, Ilya Dragunov's torpedo Moscow. It's, once he's going in the air, he's got no idea who he's going to hit. He just closes his eyes and he runs and he jumps at you. Whether you're there or not, he doesn't care. He's going to hit whatever's in front of him. He's going to hit whatever's in front of him. That's why I call it the torpedo stupido. That's right. Because when he goes in torpedo mode, he's got no more brain. And of course, he jumps and does the torpedo Moscow. The torpedo. And basically, he bashes the belt. He bashes his head first into the belt. Then, of course, Carmelo Hayes throws back in the ring there. And then it's the nothing but net. massive leg drop off the top rope. Whammo! Finishing the match. It is over. Your dream is over for Ilya Dragunov. That's right. And Carmelo Hayes with the big victory. Now still defending his championship. That's right. Continuing his streak as one of the greatest champions of all time. Now that does wrap it up for this match and this wonderful premium live event. So thank you for joining us. If you've joined us, thank you for joining us. I've been Lip Hazlewood on The Wrestling Show. I hope to see you next time on another episode. Until then, see you then.